The summer heat bore down on the land as I stood at the edge of my newly inherited 15-acre farm, wiping the sweat from my brow. The property had been in my family for 3 generations, a legacy passed down from my grandfather, who had worked the soil with unwavering dedication. I never expected to inherit it so soon, but after my father's sudden passing, the responsibility fell squarely on my shoulders. By trade, I was a county building inspector. My days were spent ensuring safety codes were followed, and my evenings were dedicated to maintaining the farm. It was a quiet life, filled with the hum of cicadas and the distant mooing of my cattle. I had grown to appreciate the simplicity of it all, the rhythmic toil of hard work, the satisfaction of seeing my land thrive under my care. One afternoon, as I walked the perimeter of my property, I noticed something unusual. A large section of my western fence had been knocked down, tire tracks leading into my land. I followed them, my heart pounding, until I stumbled upon a construction crew unloading equipment. A deep pit had been dug where my grandfather's old workshop once stood. Confusion gave way to anger. Who in the world was building on my land? I approached a man in a hard hat, his back turned as he barked orders to his team. "Hey!" I called out, my voice firm. "What are you doing on my property?" He turned, clearly annoyed, but when he saw me, his expression shifted to something resembling pity. "Sorry, sir, but we're just following orders. The HOA approved this project. Said the land was cleared for development." "The HOA?" I scoffed. "I'm not part of any homeowners association." The foreman shrugged. "Talk to the HOA president. She's the one who signed off on the project." I didn't waste another second. Storming back to my truck, I pulled out my phone and scrolled through my contacts until I found Marcos, a friend and colleague in the county office. "I need a favor," I said when he answered. "Pull up any recent zoning changes on my land." Marcos sighed. "I doubt there are any, but I'll check." I knew my land had never been rezoned. Still, something wasn't right, and I was determined to get to the bottom of it. Later that evening, I met with Eleanor Hargrove, the local HOA president. She was a tall, elegant woman in her late 50s, with perfectly styled silver hair and a practiced smile. We met in the HOA's small, pristine office just outside the town square. "Ah, Mr. Carter," she said smoothly, offering a seat I refused. "I assume you're here about the development project." "I am," I replied, keeping my tone measured. "I want to know why there's construction on my land without my consent." Eleanor let out a small, condescending laugh. "Oh, Mr. Carter, there's been a rezoning. The county approved it months ago." She slid a stack of papers toward me. "It's all in the records." I glanced at the documents, my stomach twisting as I saw my name forged at the bottom. "This is fake," I said, looking up. "I never signed any of this." She sighed as if speaking to a child. "That's unfortunate, Mr. Carter, but the wheels are already in motion. The land has been repurposed for a community park." "A park?" I asked, incredulous. "On my private property?" She folded her hands. "Yes. And you'd be wise to cooperate. Otherwise, this might become very difficult for you." I left the office seething. Something was very, very wrong. Marcos called me as I was driving home. "You were right," he said. "There's no official record of your land being rezoned. But something strange is going on." I checked the permit logs, and a document was added a month ago, one I know for a fact didn't exist before. "What does that mean?" I asked. "It means someone with access to the county system is altering records." I tightened my grip on the steering wheel. "Can you find out who?" "I'll try, but I need to be careful." He hesitated. "Listen, I also found something else. Eleanor's got connections, deep ones. Her brother-in-law, Thomas Hargrove, is the county executive. The sheriff's in her pocket, too." I cursed under my breath. This wasn't just some bureaucratic mistake. This was a calculated land grab. The next morning, I drove back to the construction site, armed with my credentials. As a county inspector, I had the authority to issue a stop work order if something wasn't up to code. And from what I could see, nothing here had been properly permitted. I strode toward the foreman, holding up my badge. I need to see your permits." The man hesitated before handing over a file. I flipped through it and immediately spotted inconsistencies, missing signatures, improper approvals, and dates that didn't align with official records. "This site isn't up to code," I announced. "I'm shutting it down until further notice." The workers exchanged nervous glances before slowly beginning to pack up. "Sir," the foreman said quietly, "I'd be careful if I were you. People around here don't like troublemakers." I met his gaze. "Neither do I." As I drove home, I knew I had only bought myself a little time. Eleanor and her allies wouldn't take this lying down. If I wanted to keep my family's land, I'd have to prepare for a fight, one I wasn't sure I could win alone. Technology and society have always shared a dynamic relationship, each influencing the evolution of the other. The rapid acceleration of technological advancements in the 21st century has fundamentally altered the way individuals interact, conduct business, and perceive reality. The Internet and digital platforms have redefined human connectivity, creating a globalized world where information flows seamlessly across borders. Social media, artificial intelligence, and automation are not merely tools but cultural and economic forces shaping modern existence. As technology integrates further into daily life, ethical considerations become paramount. The rise of AI, for example, brings questions of employment displacement, privacy, and bias. Governments and corporations must navigate the fine line between innovation and responsible usage. Furthermore, technological development must consider social disparities, ensuring that advancements benefit humanity collectively rather than exacerbating existing inequalities. The urgency of climate change has placed environmental sustainability at the center of global discourse. Rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and ecosystem disruptions highlight the tangible consequences of human activity on the planet. Scientists warn that without immediate and sustained action, the world will experience irreversible damage, leading to social, economic, and political upheavals. Governments, corporations, and individuals all have a role to play in mitigating climate change. Policies such as carbon taxation, renewable energy investments, and conservation efforts are essential. The corporate world is beginning to recognize the financial and ethical necessity of sustainability, with companies integrating environmentally friendly practices into their operations. Individual efforts, including lifestyle changes like reducing waste, consuming responsibly, and advocating for environmental policies, contribute to a collective movement toward sustainability. However, true progress requires systemic change and international cooperation, as climate change is a global issue that transcends national borders. The concept of work has undergone significant transformations throughout history, from agrarian societies to the Industrial Revolution and now the digital age. Automation, AI, and the gig economy are reshaping employment patterns, introducing both opportunities and challenges. On one hand, technology enhances productivity, creates new industries, and allows for flexible work arrangements. On the other hand, it threatens traditional job structures, displacing workers in various sectors. The future of work depends on adaptation. Upskilling and reskilling will be critical, as emerging industries require different competencies. Governments and educational institutions must reform policies and curricula to prepare the workforce for this evolving landscape. The gig economy, while providing independence and flexibility, also raises concerns about job security, benefits, and worker rights. Ensuring fair labor practices and protections in this new economic paradigm is essential to prevent the exploitation of workers. Political polarization has intensified in many parts of the world, fueled by ideological divides, misinformation, and the rise of echo chambers in digital spaces. Social media and digital news platforms have changed how people consume information, often reinforcing pre-existing beliefs rather than fostering open discourse. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement can amplify divisive content, leading to a fragmented society where constructive debate becomes increasingly rare. Media literacy is crucial in combating misinformation and reducing polarization. Encouraging critical thinking, verifying sources, and promoting fact-based discussions can help bridge ideological divides. Governments and tech companies bear responsibility in regulating disinformation while maintaining freedom of expression. A balanced, independent media landscape is vital for democracy, as informed citizens make better decisions and contribute to societal progress. Mental health has become a prominent topic in contemporary discourse, shedding light on the importance of emotional and psychological well-being. Historically stigmatized, mental health issues are now being recognized as critical components of overall health. Stress, anxiety, and depression are prevalent in modern society, exacerbated by factors such as social pressures, economic uncertainty, and digital overstimulation. Efforts to promote mental well-being require systemic change. Workplaces must implement policies that support mental health, such as flexible work arrangements and access to counseling services. Schools should incorporate emotional intelligence education, equipping students with coping mechanisms and resilience-building strategies. Public health initiatives must prioritize accessible mental health care, ensuring that individuals receive the support they need without stigma or financial barriers. Cultural shifts in how mental health is perceived are also necessary. Open conversations, advocacy, and media representation of mental health struggles contribute to normalizing these discussions. By fostering an environment of empathy and support, society can address mental health challenges proactively, improving overall well-being and productivity. In the 21st century, global inequality remains one of the most pressing social and economic challenges. The divide between the wealthy and the poor continues to widen, exacerbated by economic policies, technological advancements, and globalization. While some countries have experienced rapid economic growth, others remain stagnant, struggling with debt and lack of infrastructure. The rise of billionaires and multinational corporations concentrating wealth in the hands of a few has led to calls for wealth redistribution through progressive taxation and social welfare programs. Moreover, the disparity is not just economic but also extends to healthcare, education, and access to essential services. Addressing global inequality requires international cooperation, policy reforms, and sustainable economic models that promote fair wealth distribution while encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship. Artificial intelligence, AI, is transforming industries, raising fundamental ethical questions about privacy, bias, job displacement, and decision-making. As AI systems become more advanced, concerns about their role in surveillance, data privacy, and misinformation grow. Many AI models are trained on biased datasets, leading to discriminatory outcomes that disproportionately affect marginalized groups. Additionally, as AI automates more jobs, millions face potential unemployment, necessitating discussions on universal basic income and res-killing programs. Ethical considerations also extend to AI's role in warfare, where autonomous weapons raise concerns about accountability and moral responsibility. Transparency, regulatory frameworks, and ethical AI development are critical to ensuring that AI benefits society without exacerbating existing inequalities or compromising human rights. Humanity is entering a new era of space exploration, driven by both governmental agencies like NASA and private companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic. The ambition to colonize Mars, establish lunar bases, and develop asteroid mining operations is no longer science fiction but a tangible goal. This new space race is fueled by technological advancements, commercial interests, and geopolitical competition. While space exploration promises scientific breakthroughs, economic opportunities, and potential solutions to Earth's resource limitations, it also presents challenges such as space debris, militarization, and ethical considerations regarding extraterrestrial life. International cooperation and responsible governance are crucial in ensuring that space remains a domain for peaceful exploration and shared benefits. Traditional education systems, designed for the industrial age, struggle to prepare students for the rapidly evolving job market. As automation and AI reshape industries, there is an increasing need for a curriculum that prioritizes critical thinking, creativity, and adaptability over rote memorization. Education reform should focus on integrating technology, personalized learning, and interdisciplinary studies to foster problem-solving skills and innovation. The digital divide, however, remains a significant challenge, with many students lacking access to quality online education. Governments and educational institutions must collaborate to ensure equitable access to resources and opportunities. Moreover, lifelong learning should become the norm, enabling individuals to continuously upskill in response to changing economic demands. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in global healthcare systems, emphasizing the importance of preparedness for future health crises. Emerging infectious diseases, antibiotic resistance, and climate-related health threats require a proactive approach to public health. Strengthening healthcare infrastructure, investing in research and development, and improving global collaboration are essential steps in preventing and managing pandemics. Additionally, misinformation and vaccine hesitancy pose significant challenges to public health efforts. Governments, scientific communities, and media organizations must work together to combat disinformation and promote evidence-based health policies. The lessons learned from COVID-19 must guide future strategies to ensure resilience against upcoming health crises and safeguard global well-being. The global energy landscape is undergoing a transformative shift as sustainable energy sources become increasingly viable. The depletion of fossil fuels and the rising awareness of climate change have necessitated investment in renewable alternatives such as solar, wind, and hydropower. Innovations in energy storage, particularly in battery technology and hydrogen fuel cells, are making these sources more reliable. Countries worldwide are setting ambitious targets for carbon neutrality, with policies supporting green energy initiatives. The integration of smart grids, energy-efficient appliances, and decentralized energy production is redefining consumption patterns, leading towards a future that prioritizes sustainability without compromising industrial and economic growth. However, challenges persist. The initial investment in renewable infrastructure is high, and political will is often inconsistent. Energy access disparity remains a pressing concern, particularly in developing nations where infrastructure is underdeveloped. Overcoming these hurdles requires global cooperation, technology transfer, and strategic funding to ensure that sustainable energy is not just a privilege of the developed world but a universally accessible necessity. Biotechnology is revolutionizing multiple industries, from medicine to agriculture, by harnessing biological processes for innovation. Gene editing technologies like CRISPR-Cas9 have opened doors to curing genetic disorders, creating disease-resistant crops, and even designing synthetic life. Personalized medicine, driven by genetic profiling, is leading to targeted therapies, improving treatment outcomes for conditions such as cancer and rare genetic diseases. Beyond medicine, biotechnology is driving sustainability efforts. Biodegradable plastics, lab-grown meat, and biofuels offer alternatives to environmentally damaging industries. Moreover, advancements in microbiome research are uncovering new ways to treat diseases, improve digestion, and even influence mental health. Yet, ethical and regulatory challenges abound. The potential for genetic discrimination, biosecurity threats, and the unintended consequences of genetic modification must be carefully managed. While biotechnology promises groundbreaking progress, it must be pursued with caution to prevent harm and ensure equitable access. Globalization has connected societies like never before, enabling cultural exchange, economic interdependence, and technological advancement. However, this interconnectedness has sparked debates about cultural preservation versus homogenization. Traditional practices, languages, and indigenous knowledge are at risk of being overshadowed by dominant global cultures, often fueled by media and corporate influence. At the same time, globalization has enabled cultural hybridity, where societies blend diverse influences to create unique cultural identities. It has expanded access to different cuisines, music, literature, and art, fostering cross-cultural appreciation. Social media and digital platforms allow for minority voices to be heard, counteracting cultural erosion by giving marginalized communities a global stage. Balancing cultural preservation with progress requires proactive efforts, education systems that emphasize local history and languages, legal frameworks that protect indigenous rights, and community-driven initiatives that promote cultural heritage. As the world becomes more connected, the challenge lies in embracing diversity without erasing individuality. The integration of artificial intelligence, AI, in warfare raises profound ethical and legal concerns. Autonomous weapons, capable of making life and death decisions without human intervention, challenge traditional warfare ethics. The potential for AI-driven conflicts to escalate rapidly, without human oversight, increases the risk of unintended consequences. Proponents argue that AI can minimize casualties by improving precision and reducing human error. AI can also enhance strategic decision-making, predict threats, and optimize defense mechanisms. However, the lack of accountability in AI-driven warfare, the potential for bias in machine learning models, and the risk of cyber warfare make this a precarious field. International regulations and treaties must evolve to address these challenges. Transparency in AI development, strict ethical guidelines, and continued diplomatic efforts to prevent AI arms races are necessary to ensure that AI remains a tool for defense rather than destruction. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI, an AI capable of performing any intellectual task a human can, remains theoretical but is a topic of intense debate. Unlike narrow AI, which excels at specific tasks, AGI would possess problem-solving abilities, reasoning, and learning capacities akin to human intelligence. The potential benefits of AGI are immense. It could accelerate scientific discovery, solve complex global challenges, and revolutionize industries. However, its development poses significant risks, including job displacement, loss of human control, and existential threats if AGI surpasses human intelligence without appropriate safeguards. Ensuring a beneficial AGI future requires collaboration among researchers, policymakers, and ethicists. The focus should be on developing robust AI alignment techniques, transparency in research, and international governance frameworks to prevent misuse.